What if I told you that the difference between where you are now and where you want to be, personally and professionally, starts with living and mastering just a few simple habits? These are not just some surface level tips. They are principles that you can follow that will build a strong and robust foundation that you can build your life on top of. These are the first 3 habits of Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. By the end of this video, you'll understand how some of the ways that you might be living might be holding you back, and how you can take back control of your decision making and your own mind. You'll also be able to create a vivid direction and vision for your life, and also how to organize your time around what is truly going to get you where you're supposed to be. If you don't know me, my name's Zach Luckenbill, and I'm a life insurance broker. And I have a strong passion about sharing what I've been learning about myself through personal experience and my business, in hopes to minimize the amount of times that people have to go through the struggles that I have, and hopefully maximize more happy, successful, financially sound, and fulfilled families and individuals in our community. So let's start living the life that we all deserve to have. A life full of fulfillment, a life full of purpose and effectiveness. Let's do it together. Starting with number 1 is being proactive. This is all about taking responsibility for your life. And I know, we've all heard it a million times from tons of people. Jocko Willink says, take extreme ownership. Tony Robbins says, if you want a different life, make different decisions. And David Goggins says to callous our minds. Enough of the high achievers in this world have said it enough, but why do we still struggle with this concept? Well, maybe it's just because it hasn't been put in a easily understandable perspective that you can apply to your life. I kind of like thinking about it like this. Are you reacting to life, or are you creating it? Proactive people focus on what Covey calls their circle of influence, or in other words, things that are in their control, instead of just wasting their time on things that are out of it. Take it from me, worrying about things that are outside of your control will get you nowhere. It actually holds you back and could even push you further down. A perfect example of this is, instead of setting a goal for yourself with the outcome in mind, set your goal, yes, with a desired outcome, but with a plan of having mini goals every day of daily activities, or in other words, your input that will get you closer and closer to your goal. What you put in is always in your control, so focus on that. In my business of helping people protect, what matters most to them, like their families, their assets, and their financial future, and things like that with life insurance and some other types of products, I used to always set my goal as the outcome. Make this much money this month. Submit this much business. Protect this amount of families this week. These goals were great, but I was missing the point. My mind was focused on what I wanted as the end result, and not what I needed to do to get that. Writing down your goal of what you want is only step 1. Once you do that, you get to back engineer that goal until you reach your current reality. Then figure out what step 1 is, and then immediately get started on it. Okay, so this is how you can apply this. Make sure you're taking small actions every day. What's one thing that you can do today, no matter how small, that can get you closer to what you want? Number 2 is practice responsibility. I broke that up on purpose. You have the ability to choose the way that you respond. That is the true definition of responsibility. Start with shifting your mindset. You are in control. Replace blame with ownership. Instead of saying, oh, well, I can't do it because of this and that, ask yourself, what can I do today to move forward? So, what kind of areas in your life have you been behaving in a reactive manner? And think about ways that you can be proactive instead. This could be in your professional life or even your personal life too. Number 2 is begin with the end in mind. You'll kind of notice that these lessons are actually kind of interwoven with each other. And that's because they all work really well together and will serve as that strong foundation you need. So next, I want you to visualize something. And this is kind of intense, so if this is a bad time, just pause it and come back to it later. Okay, I want you to imagine going to a loved one's funeral. You walk into the church and see friends and family that may have traveled out of state. You go and walk up to the viewing and realize that it's you. This is your funeral. So you go and take a seat in the back of the church and watch the whole service kind of unfold. Who would be going up and talking about the memories that they shared with you? What would they say about how they thought of you as a person, as a friend, as a child, as a parent, maybe a coworker, or even a spouse? Now, this exercise isn't meant to be so morbid. It's just meant to be powerful. This gets you thinking about what really matters most in life. So ask yourself, what do you want to be remembered as? Why did God put you here? I want to be known as not just the guy selling life insurance, but truly having a massive impact on the people around me, helping people protect their families and what matters most to them, and empowering people to succeed. So again, ask yourself, what do you want to be remembered as? So here's what you can do. You know, mission statements? Normally pretty dry and vague slogans that were written by a couple of guys in some corporate office somewhere. Well, they can actually be really powerful if you write one for yourself. What's your ultimate goal in life? What is your purpose? Set clear goals. Break your vision into actionable steps. Remember, if your goals don't align with your values, you will struggle to achieve them. A question I ask myself all the time is the way I'm spending my time aligned with the person that I want to become? If not, then it's time to make a change. Number 3 is actually just acting out the first 2. He calls it put first things first. This is about time management, but it's a little deeper than just organizing your calendar. It's about prioritizing what truly matters over what might seem urgent. So Covey developed what he called a time management matrix, and he broke it up into 4 quadrants. Number 1 is important and urgent. These are things that need your immediate attention. Number 2 is important but not urgent. These are things like long-term goals and personal development. Number 3 is not important but urgent. These are usually distractions that are disguised as priorities. And number 4 is not important and not urgent. These are really just time wasters. So, take an audit of how you spend your time. Spend a week tracking how you spend your days. What are you doing at 7, 8, 9? You might be less busy than you think. He says to prioritize that quadrant 2. We need to schedule time for things that might not be pressing, but they're things that you know you need to take care of. Things like preventative maintenance or long-term projects, or taking time to develop yourself as a person, or even taking the time to get the right life insurance for you and your family. The main point is that we need to protect our time like it's our most valuable resource. And the reason why is because it is. None of us know how long we're going to be here. So it's our job to live our lives to the fullest. And a little side note here. Saying yes to what matters most often means saying no to what doesn't. So now take ownership of your life and focus on what is in your control, not what's outside of it. Be proactive. Clearly define your vision as what you see as your ideal version of yourself and how you see yourself living. Begin with the end in mind, and then prioritize what matters most to make meaningful progress every day. Put first things first. When you start to think and act in this way, you start to realize that life is not happening to you. It's happening for you. You are designing it, whatever you decide to call it. For me, it's God that puts these paths in front of us and gives us the freedom to choose the path we want to go down. That's the beauty of it. These principles have helped me grow my business. They've also helped me strengthen my relationships and create a clear path towards my goals. So what are you going to do? Is it finally time to take control of your life? What's one thing that you can take away and apply to your life this week? Actually, share it in the comments. Let's start a conversation about growth and purpose and creating the lives that we truly want. I appreciate you guys watching. I make these videos to hold myself accountable, and it actually helps me solidify these ideas in my own mind. It's almost kind of like a public, community-driven, spoken-out journal. So if you found this video helpful, hit the like button and share it with 2 people that you feel would need it. And don't forget to subscribe for more actionable steps that you can take to better your life. Together, we can build a community of highly motivated and empowered individuals that all help each other on their journey to success. And as always, if you or anyone you know needs some guidance on what the best way of going about getting life insurance for them and their family, then just hit me up. It's the first link in my bio. Or maybe you want to learn about joining our team. My contact info is actually in the description. You can also click the last link in my bio for that too. I want to talk to you guys, so let's connect. Thanks again. Until next time, stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep moving.